All right, Loretta, Ryan Sheffer here with a video review from our golf lesson. Let's take a look at this golfer on the left here and see what's going on in her swing. So as you're swinging back here, Loretta, what we're seeing a bit of is some sway in the swing. So what I'm looking at right here is, notice how your hips are moving outside of those lines, those reference lines. We don't really want to see that. That's too much lateral motion in the golf swing, and that can throw off your balance, and typically it impacts what we call in teaching low point, or where the club actually strikes the ground. So anytime that you're moving your body that way, it's going to create some inconsistencies that you obviously don't want to have in your swing. Now, the other thing that we'll want to take a look at is on the downswing, what happens. So do you correct from here? So as we come down, notice that if we talked about like right here at impact, one thing that I'm seeing is that if I do a line kind of from like your belt buckle, if you were wearing one going down towards the ball, you'll see that it's kind of right back in the middle of where it was. Now, if I ask someone, is that a good thing? A lot of people would answer yes. They'd say, oh, I want to return exactly to where I was. The actual right answer would be no. You actually want that red line there to be on that yellow line. So we actually need more of our weight or our pressure in our feet more on our left leg when we're striking the ball. This is showing me that we're actually still too flat-footed and hanging back a bit more on our right side than what would really be wanted. Let's now take a look over on the right and see what's happening. So as we swing back, overall takeaway is pretty good. Club swinging up the plane, you make a nice good shoulder turn, and now as we come down, the club drops down on the plane. Overall swing path itself is pretty good. You're swinging kind of in to out, but we end up striking the ball poorly. Now why is that? Because again, the swing path is pretty good. A lot of it is how we're moving the weight. We're not really shifting properly into our left leg, and that's causing for some issues to take place really near the impact point when you're striking the ball. So there's some things we're going to try to fine tune in some future lessons that I don't want to overwhelm you with, but let's talk a little bit more about what we talked about during your golf lesson by watching this next video.
Let's talk about what we're learning today. A couple things going on here. I got some fun training aids on the ground we'll talk about. First thing that we saw in your swing was there was a little bit of a lateral motion that was going on in the swing. So you're moving too much into your right leg, and then you wouldn't really fully get back into your left on the way through. So what we did is we talked about a shadow drill. So let's go right over here. And what we did is we had a drill where you were trying to basically have two balls on the ground, and then what you would do is you'd get into your setup, as I'm about to demonstrate, and you can kind of see on the ground here from pointing that downward, you're going to see the ball is in between my body. So what I want to have happen is as I swing, I don't want to cross over here, and on the downswing, I want to finish with my shadow covering up that golf ball. So really, really effective drill, super simple, and it helps you to learn what your weight should be. The next thing that we did is we laid a towel and a head cover on the ground. And what we were trying to do is we didn't want to have it happen where if we swing and we whack the towel, that's a sign of you being too much on your right leg and swinging a little bit too far in to out, which really means you're swinging out to the right. So what we wanted to have happen, this is an example, is you should be able to hit a ball and not touch the towel. Now notice I also have a little duck there, your Oregon duck. That's trying to get me to swing more left. So two objects. Let's go ahead and try to hit one. So notice I did not touch the towel. I didn't touch the duck. So I'm basically creating obstacles to try to avoid. Really, really simple way to do this. Now you could do this anywhere too. So what I mean by that is I could just take like a golf tee or even a leaf. I can lay that on the ground, so that's why if I'm doing this at home in an open area, I'm not going to break anything, right? This is something where I could just hit towards an object here, use the towel, and again, just try to make some swings.
So in conclusion, Loretta, I hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you during our next golf lesson, and until then, happy golfing.